Hello, everybody. In honor of some of these news stations taking accountability and some of these historical records and books being tampered with, I like to take you all down a place called Memory Lane and help you understand the true nature of the false prophet. Now, when I say Europe is the false prophet, I'm not saying that Europeans are false prophets. I'm saying the institution of Europe is the false prophet. I'm throwing that label onto them, and so I want you to understand why. So when you guys think of Europe and America and all these beautiful countries, that's the only thing that you see, the propaganda of it. A lot of time in these countries, they blast the CCP and Russian state TV and all these other countries for their TV, not realizing they're the most controlled media on the planet. So let's start off. Belgium, 15 plus million Africans dead after the famine. You can thank King Leopold for that. And oh, I'm sorry. You can thank the institution of Europe for that. And I'd like to explain to you all that these numbers are all real. Not only are they real, you can look them up for yourself if you like to. Belgium, 15 plus million Africans dead after the famine, King Leopold. Germany, 50 to 55 million plus dead. Hitler in Germany, the Holocaust. France, millions and millions and millions dead. If you guys go look up a time lapse of France's involvement during the Crusades, France was one of the most bloodied countries of them all. King Charlemagne was crowned the Holy Roman Emperor, and it went from there. Let's see here. Spain. Oh, and France has colonized and done Africa the worst out of all these countries. As a matter of fact, France is still in 2023 colonizing Africa. If you don't believe me, go look this stuff up and do some research on France's involvement in Africa currently in 2023. Spain, the Inquisition, millions murdered to convert or enslave people. You guys don't know what the Spanish Inquisition is? You should go look it up and do some research on your own time. The UK colonized the entire world. As a matter of fact, as we're on this subject, I want to basically show you a little picture, a little interesting picture. Dates, countries became free from Great Britain. I want to show you something real quick. Look at this picture. This picture will accurately show you all the different countries that were freed, and when, even America, even some of these other European countries, when they got their freedom from Britain alone. So that speaks for itself as well. So such a safe place to be, right? So then you go down the Soviet Union, aka Russia. Well, that speaks for itself. But if you like to research the Soviet Union, go ahead. As many have died from war, famine, and murder and communism. As a matter of fact, they're killing Ukraine as we speak. The Anglo-Saxons and Frisians, Crusades, conquered the entire Europe, defeated the Romans, and took over Irish and Britain. The Irish and the British are two totally different countries. Everybody that says white people are all the same are totally confused, and you all should do some Ancestry.com and see what you actually are. So, they then enslaved the Irish and the British for a long time. The Romans did too. I'm talking thousands of years, almost 2,000 years of slavery, 1,500 years of slavery. And named it England or Angland. They did not speak English at first. That is an Anglo-Saxon, Germanic, pagan religion. I promise you it is. They created English after enslaving them. Rome. Rome enslaved a third of humanity with the Crusades and the Catholic Crusades and all the people crucified. I actually want to show you guys something real quick when dealing with Spain and Rome. You guys, like, when I say spirits that live on, you would be amazed at some of this stuff that exists. So I'm going to show you something real quick. Check this video out.
Okay, hello everybody. So before I show you the video, I'm going to just read you the comment because I thought this was interesting. It's processions during Holy Week in Spain. So each fraternal order pays respects to their saint and or Virgin Mary. The hoods are worn as a way of doing your penance for your sins, and it's supposed to be worn so no one knows who you are. It's like repenting anonymously so no one knows your business. It dates back to the 15th century, and it was the KKK that stole the idea from them, so they wouldn't be held accountable. So there you have it. This began as a Roman Catholic tradition. Now what? face. She like, what the?
Yeah, so I just thought that was pretty interesting how that all came to be and how that all started. So back to the regularly scheduled program. Okay, you're Rome actually in that movie you guys have seen with a lot of these movies are real but not historically accurate. Remember the Gladiator, how they romanticized it in 300? They showed the Romans defeating the Persians and all that. Those things happened. The Romans defeated the Grecians actually and defeated a lot of Persia. But what you're looking at is Spartacus. That dude was a brave hero and he was a slave in ancient Roman times. That was real. And he did an uprising to try to fight the Roman army just like the Jewish people did, and they were all murdered and crucified. You see, crucifixions are ancient. And that's where the idea, even if you think in the recent times where they're lynching black people, it's hanging somebody from a piece of wood. It's a spirit that lives on in a new form. So when they talk about devils and demons, I don't go up and accuse people who want to live like this and act like this. I'm talking about murderers and people who hate people of color and races and enslavers and colonizers. Okay. Greece conquered 4 ways, Alexander the Great, and took over Middle Asia and enslaved people. So another interesting fact, when I say the news is fake, they show you all news stories all the time of black Walmart being torn apart and black Chicago and Hispanic New York and indigenous New York and California's this and that, right? All the crime. In 2019, Caucasians commit 70% of crimes and plea dealt over 3K murders to involuntary manslaughter, making them not murder. So when you look at crime tables like this, and I want to show you something interesting. This is where they get their statistics and try to scare you all, right? I've told you all this before. If you look at this number, 6.8 million divided by 4.7 million white people committing the crimes divided by 6.8 million comes out to 70%. They did 70% of the crimes. If you watch police audits, how many times they arrest, harass, and accuse black people of something they didn't do, and you look at these actual numbers, you will notice that we are being accused of things that aren't real. So I'm going to show you something real quick. Cold case files. And I'm going to go to 2019 to make it fair. This is a actual organization website that shows all the murders that happen and what actually goes down, right? So go to 2019. There was 15,449 murders, homicides. How it only says 7K on the table. But somehow only 58% went unsolved. So think about that. 6,544 murders went unsolved. Now, if you look at a demographic, and I'm breaking down the science, cold case files. You guys watch all the murders that have ever been unsolved. Most of them are Caucasian. When African Americans and crimes for our crimes are committed, they find us instantly. Black man APB, whether it's the right person or not. They take us to jail and give us a trial of people that don't look like us that are mostly racist. Go watch cold case files and all these cold case shows and stuff like that. And see if almost all of them white people whose files have not been solved. And then you go back to this number. If you fill in the number of that, because I'm going to make a perfectly plain statement. Go do socio-political science and go do sociology. Almost all murders and crimes are committed within the same demographic. So if all these are Caucasian murders that are unsolved, that means the real number of Caucasians committing murder on this table would be closer, when looking at manslaughter, would be closer to almost 10,000 murders, including the 6,000 murders that were unsolved. They are lying on us. And all these crimes make sense when you do the actual numbers. Just like they're saying Trump's financials weren't real, Fox News numbers weren't real, because they're trying to make a genocide against black people. Slavery is in a new form now, and this is what I'm trying to explain to you all. Look at all these crimes. Okay, so you fill in the real numbers and you do the statistics of these numbers. Now do 4.7 million divided by 6.8 million. 69% round up to 70%. And then you look at the real number of murders, they say they're unsolved. We couldn't solve them. If you actually watch cold case files, It is so disgusting how many rights people get. Oh, we can't go through their things. Oh, we can't accuse them because reasonable doubt. Oh, we can't do this and that. You go to an African American. First of all, this is how it starts. APB, black man, 6 foot in the area. They go search for every black person on the street. Soon as you talk back to them, whether you're the black person or not, you're catching a felony for impeding an investigation. You don't believe me? Go watch these audits. It's happening to Caucasians now. Now I'm going to show you something else. While looking at all these unsolved murders and all these anybody that can hear me, like if you can understand what I'm clearly saying, most murders are done by Caucasians. Most crime in America are done by Caucasians. This number of 1.8 million black people, go look at police audits and see what they do to us. Watch how George Floyd, we watched this man choked to death crying for his mother, and his file still says he overdosed on opioids. If anybody can help us or hear me, please, they're trying to kill us through audits and lies. On the news, all they show is that Chicago, black, African American. I can show you the conservative twins' comments. I can show you, this is why I have panic attacks. Because it's all lies. And they want us dead. And then they lie and say racism isn't real. Tucker Carlson goes and talks all this shit. And then Don Lemon, he thinks he's so pro-black, but he doesn't help. I'm sorry. You say an African American in America, and the first thing they think is murder, robbers, but none of it is real. Look at these numbers. Violent crime, 200,000. They commit most of them. Property crime, they say we tear up Walmarts, and they say we go around and vandalizing and stuff. 500,000 of them out of the total number 700,000. The only reason they say 44 million blacks, so they have high numbers of murder. First of all, black people don't do the census. We make up an actual of like 20 to 25% of this population. They're lying on us. Then not only do we make up a lot more of this population, the numbers on these crimes aren't real. Okay, so murder, 7,000, 8,000. But clearly on this other FBI website, it says that there have been 14,000, go back to 2019, 15,400 murders unsolved. It's all a narrative, and they're whitewashing black people's lives to make us want to be white and to want to destroy our culture. If you look at the Department of Justice page of arrests by race, table 43, you'll see that none of it's real, and you won't even find Hispanic numbers or people of different colors because they only look for black crimes. You guys can call me what you want. I am the truth. America has been trying to destroy people of color, and now other races even think we are violent. Other races think we are murderers. People hear me talking in the street and they'll be like, oh, you're so educated. You're so smart. You know how racist that is? Of course I'm smart. We're both humans. My brother John asked me why I stopped making videos, because I'm going to tell y'all the truth. Even if I was the word, even if I was the anointed one, Neo, the one, they'll call a character Neo. You know how much love Keanu Reeves gets? If I was to come out preaching in mainstream media saying I'm the one, people will try to crucify me for real. You guys want to know some truth about America and what's going on in America, man? You go watch. I'm not even going to show you on my... Yeah, I'm going to show you so you know exactly how to get to it. You want to know some truth about America? Go look this up. It's called the Grand Knights. Go do some research on this institution. Grand Nighthawk Infiltration, the KKK. They say Tucker Carlson and Fox News say KKK isn't real, and it says racism isn't real, and none of that stuff is real. Then go to your YouTube and type in racist Americans treating black people bad on your YouTube and see what you start to get and see if it don't make you sick. I'm tired of your narratives. And then, oh, they want to change the Little Mermaid, but every Caucasian movie has been whitewashed. Let me show y'all something. The 10 Commandments, right? Since we can't do anything, the Ten Commandments movie. Because Moses, we're not even going to play. He was black. Moses was black. Moses was out of Egypt, a Hebrew out of Egypt. There was no Caucasians and Europeans in Africa and written history in Asia and Europe and Africa and Lower Europe and Eastern Asia. I'm telling you there wasn't. So if you guys would like to follow along, this man played the Ten Commandments. This Caucasian man. And this Caucasian, I don't know what I'm not even gonna play. This was the Ten Commandments. And y'all, no, there was no outrage at that. But when this movie was made, The Little Mermaid, because you guys say, why don't black people create their own? And when we do, when we create our own, she was black and people became outraged. It's a black movie. You see all these characters are black. When we try to make our own, they flood us and attack us. You guys need some help understanding American history. How many race massacres in the United States? You guys want to know some true American history? Go look up some of these race massacres in the United States. And how many there were. And how many race massacres we had to live through. Like there was whole towns completely murdered over and over and over again. Just town after town after town. Chicago, Tulsa. I mean, like, I don't know if you guys are trolling at this point. Like you guys, and then they paid the slave owners reparations, but not the slaves. You guys want to know an interesting fact? Every race gets reparation. How much money do Native Americans get a month? From the governments. The bottom line, Native Americans do not automatically get monthly checks. Yes, they do. I know a Native American person that gets $2,900 a month. They have reservations and lands. Then you go to Hispanics, right? They were given, I don't even know exactly, I'm not going to speak on that because I don't know exactly what it was, but they have lands. And the Japanese and Chinese were both given checks and businesses and loans for businesses. Man, all type of reparations were given to all type of people, except African Americans. So don't speak on African Americans if you're not African American. If you're an African American and you're whitewashed, don't speak on us. Matter of fact, unless you have something nice to say about us, unless you're trying to build us up, they're saying it's not our job to help you all. Then stop tearing us down when we build. If you don't want to help us, when you see something about black culture, keep your freaking mouth shut. Have a nice day. Because I am intelligent, and so is my son and daughter. And we will not be beaten down by heathens without educations. So have a nice life.